Hi guys, I'm Dogboy3019 and today I'm going to be sharing my 5 tips for a new player on Satisfactory. I'm reasonably new to the game myself with less than 70 hours playing time, but I thought I'd share some simple, useful information and tips to get started. First one being, this game has an arachnophobia mode. If you don't like creepy stuff, hit the escape key on your keyboard, go to options, go to gameplay, then go down to arachnophobia mode, tick the box and hit apply. There are creatures in this game that resemble spiders and other creepy stuff, and you typically find them in dark caves, so if that freaks you out, this will help you a lot, and I'll tell you why. Using arachnophobia mode, it turns all these creepy creatures into killing avatars. I kinda like this. It kinda reminds me of 90s gaming graphics, but let me know in the comments below what you think, and if you think Coffee Stain can make these look a little bit cuter. It still feels a little creepy to me, but let me know guys. Like I said, I kind of like it. One of the things I wasn't prepared for when I first started playing Satisfactory is the amount of maths that you actually need to know and actually have to do. So my next tip is to make sure you have a pen and paper to write down any calculations and any notes that you might need to help you build, and especially as you expand outwards. For example, if we go and have a look at these miners, they each provide around about 120 iron ore per minute, and every machine will tell you this output information for whatever product you are making. However, if we jump over to the smelter, which is just over here, we'll see that it shows an additional piece of information. Not only does it show how much it's producing, which is 30 iron ingots per minute, it also tells you how much it is consuming, which is 30 iron ore per minute. This is a ratio of 1:1. This is a very nice example. However, other products, the ratio can vary greatly. So that's why it's important to have a piece of pen and paper just to write down all these additional numbers and to help you with the maths, because it can get very complicated. But more importantly, if you're planning on scaling up your operation, pen and paper becomes incredibly handy just to map out how you're going to set everything out, where you're going to put each piece of machinery. For example, just take a look at my future project that I'm working on in the stream. Speaking of scaling up, my next tip is very important, so listen up. Do not neglect screws. Screws, screws, screws. Make sure you scale up your screws. I cannot stress this enough, but you can never have enough screws. So do not be like me and make sure you plan ahead to scale up your build as it gets bigger. The screw consumption can get absolutely insane, so make sure you have a pen and paper. If we look at my current setup, I have 2 screw constructors that are maxed out and fully overclocked, and I am still not producing enough screws, okay? If I automated computers and heavy modular frames, I would, in essence, I'd be the bad kind of screwed, okay? So make sure you plan to scale this up as you get bigger. When you do build bigger, for my next tip, take advantage of Satisfactory's weird selective gravity to build vertically and to try new build techniques. I mean, look at this monstrosity. This shouldn't exist. This road platform thing should not exist, but thanks to the game's physics, this sort of building is possible. But not only are you able to build insane structures as you progress, or when you first start and you're in an awkward place, you can use these physics to solve problems. For example, if we go down here, you can see I did just that. Now, I had to go all the way over here to solve an issue with one of my conveyors. I needed this conveyor to reach over to this point. However, it would have clipped with this assembler. So, what I did was I dropped a wall from the ceiling. I then added a conveyor wall mount, which is right here in logistics. And from here, I connected the conveyor to the wall mount, and then from the wall mount all the way to the far end where I needed to be. Once I did that, deleted the wall mount, deleted the wall, and as you can see, the conveyor went neatly around the assembler. Now, I'm sure you guys are far more creative and far more imaginative than me, and will find some very interesting ways to take advantage of Satisfactory's weird game physics. And so, for my final tip for new Satisfactory players, is as you get bigger and as you build bigger factories, be prepared to tear everything that you've built down and delete it all. Everything you see here has once been deleted and rebuilt bigger and better. So make sure you're prepared to do so yourselves, because no doubt I'm going to be rebuilding all of this again at some point. And you know what? I'm perfectly happy with that, because it means I'm getting better as a player, and it means I'm building bigger and better, more efficient factories. Anyway guys, those are my 5 tips for new Satisfactory players. Don't forget to leave a like below if you thought they were useful, and also every Sunday at 6 PM UK time only on YouTube is my Satisfactory live stream. As always, please look after yourselves guys, and I will see you next time.